Hey everyone, I'm Josh with Rainier Creations, and today we're going to make some banners. So, like I said in my intro, I do have a banner. I have to make a customer order, a 25-foot long by 5-foot in height banner. That's a pretty big banner, but typically my banners are about 4 foot by 8 foot, so this will be a really big one, long run, and I figured why not bring you guys along for the ride. I'll show you guys how I do it step by step from start to finish. So if this is something you're into or you appreciate what I'm trying to do for you, if you can just go ahead and like and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm just trying to grow my channel and learn as much as I can from you guys and hopefully impart some knowledge that I've learned over the past few years to you. So that would really be beneficial. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and we'll get right into it. Thanks. So here you see I have the banner design right here. So really the things I'm looking for in this design right now is to make sure that it is actually to scale. So all I really need to do to check that is highlight it, and I can see it's already to 300 feet or inches, excuse me, by a little over 60, which gives me that bleed that I wanted on it. So this is actually good to go. If it wasn't, I would just simply come up here in properties where you see width and height, and I would get it to the size that I want. Now, it's important to understand that with Adobe Illustrator, when you start getting these oversized artboards, you might get an initial thing saying you can't do it. You absolutely can. You just need to make sure that it's a fresh artboard and you save it with the appropriate version of PDF when you go to save it. So that's all you got to do. So since this is done and there's really not a ton of work for me to do, all I need to do is save this, and I like to use OneDrive over Google Drive. It just seems a little bit better because I'm going from Mac to PC. I have to use PC to run all of my equipment, the HP Latex 365. The GraphTech does work on Mac, but it's just easier to run it all off of the HP. So I save this as a PDF in my OneDrive. I pull it up in the shop on the PC, and then we'll get ready to print this thing. Okay, so now I have my new banner material loaded up into the HP Latex 365. So now I actually have to feed the material up into the printer. So the way you're going to do this is you're going to take this backside here, this part here that you're seeing my hand is on. This is the actual printed side right here, which is why I'm wearing gloves. I don't want to get my fingerprints all over it. So what you have to do, sometimes just easier just to rotate this whole thing until you get to the material, which I have right here. And there's a little spot up in here you have to feed it up into. And I'll get a video of that here in just a minute. But you want to start in the center. Whenever you work with media, again, you always want to start in the center. Okay, try to get everything lined up as best as you can. This is not easy, especially with banner material because it's so flimsy. Okay, so before I actually send it up in there, what I like to do is tighten it back up, make sure everything's tight and even, and now you're just going to push until the printer takes it. You hear it. You keep pushing. Okay, the printer has it now. Okay. I'm going to make sure I select the proper profile. Okay. So now that the profile has been set, the printer is going to just run it through. It's going to calibrate, make sure that it understands the size that the material is, that it's not skewing too much, excuse me, things like that. Okay, I have the banner material loaded up. I have it coming down, feeding underneath here to go into the take-up reel, so that way nothing touches the floor. I am using 13-ounce banner material. One thing you'll notice is it looks like I have a lot of waste here, and I kind of do, but that's so I could have enough length to actually get this to the take-up reel prior to starting my print. You can get around that one of two ways. Either one, just print, and if you're fast enough, by the time it gets down to here, get it attached to the take-up reel, and you're good to go. Minimal waste. Or you can take a scrap piece of vinyl, banner, or whatever it may be, about this length, and feed it up to here and tape it into the media coming out of the printer, so that way you're not using as much waste. You're kind of tricking the printer into thinking that it's hooked up already. We can get into that we can get into that later on in another video. But this right now, I'm fine with taking the hit on this waste right here. So that being said, since we're good and loaded up, we'll go ahead and get the banners into the print material, or excuse me, the RIP software, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I have two versions of the banner here, Banner 1, Banner 1 V2. We're going to use Banner 1 V2 because this is actual size. So now I've moved it over into the RIP software. So now there's a couple things I need to do here in Flexi. So I need to go up to the top left, and you see I have the little printer icon right here. I need to go ahead and click on that. So now you get an idea of what we're working with there, right? Okay, so we know we're working with 63-inch wide material. So first thing I need to do is I need to center that. So now I have a little bit of waste on both sides, which is absolutely fine with me. Okay, everything is lined up the way it should be. I'm not too concerned there. That's the way we want. You want to make sure it's oriented the right way. So we're good there. Just double checking anything with any of the profiles here. Okay, so I need to make sure that we're good here. So I'm going to go ahead, grab the right profile. So the profile is really important. I have it set on the printer already, but you need to make sure that it's set in here. So I'm using Duratex 13-ounce banner material, and I want 10 passes to go over per print. So that's what we're doing here. So now DPI, make sure we're good. DPI drops per inch. Okay, I'd say we're set. I think we look good there. 63 inches, we're tracking. Okay, we're tracking all. So I'm going to send this now to the RIP software. Okay, so here's the banner right here in the RIP software. So now I need to send it up to here. So now it's officially ripping. Probably take a minute because this is a larger file. Typically, smaller files, they go very quick. Because this one's so big, it'll take a minute. Where I'm actually concerned is once I get up to sending it to the printer right here, every now and then when these files are so big, sometimes the software doesn't communicate with the printer well, and it'll just cut off halfway through the job. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but we're fixing to find out how this goes. So we just got to give this another minute to finish ripping, and we'll get ready to start printing. Okay, ripping is now complete, so now we can move it up and actually start the print. So again, this is a really big file. So we'll see how this goes with the banner, but you see it is sending and the printer is starting to activate. So we'll walk away from the computer here and we will head over to the printer to take a look. Right now the printer is calibrating, getting the print heads ready to go, and then we'll start printing along this entire substrate. Okay, so there's been a slight change of plans. I was going to walk you guys through how to hem a banner and how to put the grommets in, but the customer contacted me and said they might want to explore a different mounting option. So I'm not going to be able to show you guys on this particular banner. What I will do is still pull some scrap banner out and walk you guys through the hem and grommet process just so you can see it and see how easy it is. But like I said, we just won't be doing it on the banner that originally I was going to do it on. So not the end of the world. So that being said, I'll go ahead and get the camera reoriented and we'll walk through how to hem and grommet up a banner. Okay, like I said, I was going to show you at least how to hem and all that. So what I have here is I just have an extra scrap piece of leftover banner material. Same stuff I'm using out there. And then I have all the tools you're going to need. So in order to do this, you're going to need a grommet press, punch, grommets. Okay, there's 1 part, 2 part, hem tape, Okay, I use a high adhesive hem tape, so that way I know it's going to last. Scissors or a razor blade, and some kind of roller to help get it into the banner material a little bit better. So we'll walk through this real quick and I'll show you exactly what you got to do. So first thing you need to do is let me just cut a little bit of this banner material. So the hem tape that I buy is 1 inch thick, okay? Which you can see right here. So typically what I like to do is this side is the print side right here. This side is, it's actually got some hem tape stuck to it, the non-print side, okay, on this material. So once I get it cut, typically, you know, if I need to cut it, I use a straight edge and get it as straight as I can. And I usually have lines on the banner. But all you have to do is take your hem tape here. We have our adhesive side right here. Non-adhesive is basically just double-sided tape. Okay, and you're going to put it on there, line it up with the edge that you cut. Okay, so I'll do one more little piece there just to show you. Okay, so you can just line this back up with the other one, like so. Okay, I know I'm good. Take that leftover. Okay, good to go. So now I like to take my roller here and I like to get it just rolled in really good. You can even take some heat to it if you want. I don't need to use a ton of heat, but I do take some. And I don't know if the camera is going to pick this up or not, but it's getting into the little nooks and cranny of the material really, really well. Okay, so once you have that done, then it's time to start peeling this off. Okay, just like double-sided tape. Now, when you're doing larger banners, I like to do it sections at a time, but for this, you don't need to. So I know that right in here is 1 inch. I'm tracking, right? So just like with everything else, like I was saying, you want to start in the center. So I'm just going to fold this up 1 inch. Okay, and you can kind of start to get it lined up with some of the other little squares on there. Okay, get that. Get a little roll in there. Okay, and then just start working one side to the other. So once that's done, a nice roll. Same thing on this side now. Okay, you have that. Get a nice roll in, and you can see there's no air in there or anything. It looks really, really nice. And we'll put 2 grommets in this, okay? All right, so I'm happy with that. So that's how that would look, right? Okay, so now we have our grommet tool. So on the grommet tool, you have 2 portions to it. You have a male end and kind of like a female end. So you have one piece, looks just like this. Don't know if that will show a good job or not. Okay, that's going to feed into the top part of the punch. Just like so, right there. Okay, then we take the bottom piece and put that in. Okay, now typically I would have dots where I want these all measured out before I even print. But then once you get these lined up, just get it there and give it a real hard squeeze. Grommets in. Bam. And now we're completely through right there. So that looks really clean. All right, so we'll do one more. Okay, so again, you would just get it lined up on the dot that you would have pre-made. Give it a tight squeeze. Okay, and then you're good to go. Sometimes this will happen right here, where you think you get a good squeeze and you don't. So if that happens, just run it through again. Sometimes it happens. So, and if it does, like that, right, there's other items you can use to get that out. This might not work as well because it's full, but if you had to, you could do a manual punch, like so. Okay. All I would do in this situation when this happens, and you can see kind of the problem is sometimes right on the back side there, the grommet didn't take super great right there, right? That does happen, but that's nothing not to stress out about, right? So you can cut it, and all I would actually do is I would take a razor to it, cut the inside, then a lighter, and just kind of burn that right there, and you wouldn't even know that that was there. So once that's done, that's how it works. So some of you might ask, well, how far apart do you need the grommets to be? That's really going to depend on the size banner that you have and what people's intents are. So the reason why I'm not doing the grommets on the other banner is because the customer, see if I can give you an example, customer essentially wants this. So they're thinking about taking a wooden rod just like this, okay? And they're thinking about having the banner, instead of grommets, having it come over and hem in like that so they can feed it through. I've never done it that way, but that's what somebody's interested in doing. It's worth trying. If that doesn't work, then we can just simply go to grommet and it's no issue. So that's the reason why we're not doing the grommets on the full thing right now. But I hope that this area right here makes sense. It's super easy to do. The equipment's not expensive. There are nicer grommet punches out there. You can get the automatic ones. You're just going to pay a pretty penny for them. I just haven't had the need for them. I have no issue using the actual tool. So I hope this helped clarify some things for you. The hem tape, again, is fantastic. I use an extra strength one. I get it from Grimco, and I haven't had any issues with anything coming apart at all. Furthermore, the grommets, when they go through, since you do 1 inch, they should be going through both ends of the hem, and that holds it in place extremely well. So that's the way that I do that. So, if you have a better way, or you want me to try it a different way, that whatever it may be, just let me know. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to check it out. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and get ready to move on to our sticker orders for the day. It's only 100 stickers. I thought I was going to include them in the video. I don't know that I really need to. This is pretty self-explanatory thus far. I will make a dedicated video better than my last one about it, but for right now, I think we'll get ready to close this video out. Okay, thank you so much for hanging with me throughout this video. I didn't quite get it done the way I wanted to get it done. I was going to add the stickers to it, but I just thought it's 100 stickers. It's really not that much, so I decided kind of to end the video. That being said, you can see that making a banner really wasn't all that difficult. I already had the design, which was great. I just adjusted it to the artboard size and it needed to be at. I sent it over to my PC via the OneDrive from the PC. I just simply uploaded it in my RIP software. And from my RIP software, I then sent it to the printer. The hardest part of all of this was loading in that stupid heavy banner material into the printer. Once that's done and I hit print, that's pretty much it. It comes out, and I would do what I showed you guys with the grommets. But since the customer wants it mounted a little bit different, I'm just not doing that right now. So hopefully you found this to be somewhat informative. If you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to kick videos out every week, at least one. I do work full-time on top of everything else, so it does get hard for me to do, but I'm trying to do it the best I can. If you have suggestions or anything like that, I'd love to hear them. So please feel free to leave a comment below. Until next time, you guys have a great one.